Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to another episode of Two Girls, One Doc.
One Doc. I find it really creepy how you've been smiling at me these days. Every time we record, you look like a kid in a candy store.
So, guys, get you some friends that are happy when you're happy, not creeped out by your happiness.
Oh my God.
It's your girl, BD.
It's your girl, Forens.
And we're back. I'm happy.
Yeah, I'm happy too.
Okay, and yeah, I'm not complaining about it, but okay, we move. Today we're drinking.
What are we drinking?
We be drinking. Do you know whenever I hear that song or I think about that song,
Surfboard.
I think about the video of, the goat.
Oh, when it's like, it screams, yeah. No, but then so have you remember that is it see I wanna swing from the chandelier?
Yeah.
Have you seen the one with the Chinese?
Yeah.
That's what I've been going with that one.
I know the episode before last, we were talking about how we hate the internet,
The internet.
Well, no, we didn't actually say we hate the internet. We hate what the
internet has done, but it's hilarious.
It's hilarious, it is.
Today I was actually on Twitter quite a bit, which was probably my first day, proper on it for a bit, since I've come back. And, I was literally crying, laughing.
It's funny.
It's funny. I forgot
so
how funny that shit can be.
So it's that video of the grandma and the baby. And then
the baby drops the
alcohol.
Listen, girl, I felt you.
You weren't the only person that sent it to me and was like, you? I had two other people send it to me and they were like, this is you.
Yeah, but that's you in a video.
I'm glad that
fuck
you know.
Them kids.
Fuck them kids. Pass that wine. So today we're drinking something I like to think that I invented. And I know that the haters out there are going to say, no, you didn't. But I did.
It's raggedy. But I guess it will taste
It's
nice.
called the Beady Mimosa. And it's, instead of orange juice, guys, hold on to your seats. It's apple juice.
Whoa, this roller coaster.
And trust me, it's getting wild up in here. So we have Prosecco again and mix it with some apple juice to give it some pizzazz. I'm going to let Forens try it because obviously I already know the greatness.
I'll do a loud sip so you guys can hear me.
I'm sure they can imagine the sip. Thoughts?
It is good.
I told you.
It is good.
The Beady Mimosa, guys. #.
It's good. I would drink it at a brunch.
It's better at a brunch. It's less orange juice kind of sits in your
throat.
It's
quite thick.
Yeah. And not in a good thing. Not like milkshake thick. It's just gunky thick.
Milkshake.
Lord, I'm really trying to turn this podcast into something that is.
I know. I'm so sorry, guys. I'm sorry.
This is not that.
I'm sorry. I'm just okay. Okay. We'll get into this.
Yeah. So
credits.
what? So what documentary are we doing today?
Jeffrey Dahmer, The Mind of a Monster.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun.
Oh, happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.
I'm not really happy Halloween. We don't really celebrate Halloween.
Yeah, but still. We have American listeners.
You always it's not just Americans that listen to us.
No, I know, but I'm just saying we do, so we should say Happy Halloween for them.
Yeah, but do they all celebrate Halloween?
Yeah.
Is it
Yes, it's like Thanksgiving.
I don't.
It's a big thing there.
I can't imagine that to be true.
No, part of the diaspora and your African parents think it's for witches and wizards. But
which is
yeah,
which is what it is.
No, they do. It's a massive thing out there. They all have decorations and shit.
I think that's a sweeping generalization.
Okay, believe me if you want or not, but. Happy Halloween, you ghosts and ghouls.
Yeah.
Ghosts and ghouls. What is wrong with me today?
What does Carol Baskin say?
I don't know.
Cats and kittens.
Hey, all you cute cats and kittens.
Carol Baskin.
Oh, God. Okay.
Right, let's get into
this.
Before you guys get tired and switch.
Okay, so this documentary is covering Jeffrey Dahmer, The Mind of a Monster. We've said that, but yeah. So we open up with on-screen text telling us that we are in Wisconsin. It's July 23rd, 1991, and I really struggled not to just sing, I can put you in the log, Kevin. No.
That's an Aspen.
No.
Oh, in Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. I'm there.
And we meet Ann Schwartz, and she's a reporter from the Milwaukee Journal. And she basically gets an early tip saying that there's a man who's been saving body parts in his house. And so she runs off to this crime scene. And we see pictures of the crime scene, or videos and pictures of the crime scene officers coming out. And they're taking things out. And, neighbours are really shocked. They've been woken up and they've been told, something's going down.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
also you can kind of tell something's going down because there's just hella people around.
Police people around. These boxes. And, yeah. And the officers tell us that they initially found 11 skulls. But can you imagine, like, because we see like pictures of this house here, and it's not like it's
an
a mansion, it's an apartment. So house is not even right, it's an apartment. Can you imagine finding out that an apartment where it's such close proximity, the person next to you had 11 skulls just chilling?
It's crazy to me.
Nice.
And it's just mad to me because it's like, that means 11 people entered that place and never left.
And nobody noticed.
So what, did we just not?
It's mad. It's mad.
To be honest, I think about times I've lived in flats and they could have had 11 skulls and I would not have known.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't think it's that unusual. Not that it's very unusual, of course, but I don't think it's that impossible
for you to
or
not
improbable
know.
that you would have known. Yeah.
We'll get
Everyone
into
just minds their business.
Yeah, we'll get into it. But I mean, last time when I lived in flat, I was quite young, so I can't remember what the dynamics. Oh yeah, yeah, no, yeah.
They could have been doing anything.
Literally, that was crazy.
This is crazy.
This is crazy. Where's that from again?
Candy.
Oh yeah.
Housewives.
So Anne says this really like problematic thing that I was just like, what the fuck? She was like, the house was a bit messy and it smelled like urine, which was normal. Like single, I was like, what kind of normality? Like, what life are you living that?
That's normal.
Yeah.
I knew she was a weirdo from when she introduced herself as Anne E. Schwartz. Whatever her name was. Yeah. Because it was like Anne and the letter E. And I was like, is your name Annie or not? Because
and also, I hate when people do that because like everybody, like most people have a middle name. We don't need, like, it's like you introduce... Oh, well,
your name is Anne Schwartz. Like, we didn't need... How many Anne Schwartz are there on this documentary that you have like, to distinguish yourself?
Fam, gosh.
That's when I was like, hey, this something ain't clean. And then...
The math ain't mathing.
The math ain't mathing. And then when she came to say, it smelled like urine, which was normal, I said, to who?
She said that you expect it. I said, no sir, no ma'am.
If he's potty trained, I don't expect urine.
So we learned that Jeffrey had a heart and a bicep in like his fridge.
Guys, do you know what? We should have actually done a trigger warning before.
Yeah, trigger. This is probably the most gruesome,
the most crimey documentary we've ever done.
Yeah, but we still finna make you laugh. But it's some real shit.
So just trigger warning, everything.
Yeah, everything you can think of is going on in this documentary.
Everything.
We got a bit of cannibalism.
Everything. Everything.
So he has the heart and the bicep, and he's cut them into little squares like hamburger patties, as you do, like, you know, just casually. So I guess you don't need to wonder what he's doing with them. So we meet Dennis Murphy, he's one of our talking heads, and he said detectives spent 66 hours interviewing Dahmer, and he remembered everything. Like, he remembered his first kill to the last one.
Because I reckon if I was a serial killer, I would actually forget where the bodies are buried. I'd forget everything. I'd be like, I think there was this guy. I don't know. Oh, yeah, shit. There was one guy who was in... Like, I don't think I would... And that's how you know that this is really mentally charged. Like, the satisfaction that he gets from it. Like, this is not just, I killed someone. This is like, I killed, I enjoyed it. Yeah. It's like when you have a good day, you remember everything about that day. Like, oh my God, and I was wearing this thing, and I did.
But he says that you never forget your first kill.
Yeah, and I guess
I feel like that's a lot of, like... People's like, like, you never forget your first. Like, I've heard a lot of serial killers say that.
Yeah, I suppose.
Not like that I've hung around them, but I thought it was documentary.
Hence the premise of this podcast.
So we heard off Jeffrey Dahmer's interview, but it's not him talking. So we hear clips of this, like, experts of this whole interview.
Yeah, it's an actor.
It's an actor, but it does sound like him because the voice sounds like the voice we hear later on in the family videotape.
Oh yeah, it does sound like him. But it does. Yeah, do you know what? It sounds like what I thought he would sound like, and it also sounds like him. Yeah, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and that means that person also sounds very deranged.
Yeah, but then that person's an actor, so he's acting.
Yeah, people be acting a little too good.
Yeah, I know. It's like that guy that we talked about. Do you remember in our credits episode, and when we were doing the Snog, Marry, Avoid, and there was the guy, the one who was the
that's who's beating his wife.
Yeah, and I was like, I get that he's an actor, but you're too good at that.
So, in the interview, Dahmer's saying that he's had fantasies about meeting a hitchhiker and having sex with him, which is okay, fair enough. People be doing what people do, like people have all kinds of sex. But
there's no murder involved.
Now it's kind of like, okay, cool, that's fair enough. That's your fantasy.
That's your fantasy.
Yeah, good. Yeah. And then he said he was interested in a very particular kind of looking guy, Chippendale, good looking, swimmer type build, and
white,
yeah, Caucasian. It just so happened one day that no one was home and everything aligned, like the stars aligned for him. And we see a reconstruction as all this is happening, and he's talking about this. He picks up a hitchhiker called Stephen Hicks and asks him if he wants to smoke some pot. And Hicks is like, yeah, cool, let's go.
Why not?
Yeah, like, I mean, you're a stranger, I just met you on this lonely road,
but he doesn't look threatening at all.
Even so. I could be stopped by a nanny in the car with her 3 cats.
Yeah, but you're a woman. I don't think men think the same level of fear.
Yeah, it's true.
Especially because he just looks like any guy.
Yeah.
That Stephen Hitch probably could have taken him if it was a fair game.
So they got to Dom's bedroom and they're drinking beer. And again, so he says he could tell that Stephen wasn't gay, which obviously fair enough. You can tell if someone's on your wavelength sexually, fine. But I just find it weird, like, why did Stephen go with him to his bedroom? This is the bit I didn't understand. Like, for so many reasons. One, this is a stranger you just met. Would you not want to stay in, like, open areas? Like...
Okay, I'm going to go back to the point that I made before, yeah?
Men don't
You're not threatened.
Yeah.
You're actually not threatened.
And this was the 80s as well.
No, it was 91, no?
No, this was 8.
Because they caught him. Yeah, exactly. Pot was a thing. That was like the thing.
Yeah.
You're hitchhiking already. Like, I'm sorry, someone who's hitchhiking is not concerned about whether they're going to get killed by someone. This is what I'm saying. I feel like you're looking at it with the mind of someone who is a woman and like, I might get killed.
And
I don't think men walk around with this fear that we have.
Yeah. And also, like,
and going to his bedroom is just like, it could have been his living room. Remember, it wasn't like his house. Like, he owned the house.
Everything could have been
that was his space in the house.
Yeah. So fair enough.
Do you know what I mean? I don't think it was that absurd. Like, yeah.
So he says he could tell Stephen wasn't gay, and basically goes on to explain that being gay was taboo where he was from. Because I get it, he was in the Midwest.
Like, he was probably like the only gay guy.
Yeah, literally the only gay in the village.
Only gay in the village.
And he was sexually frustrated because he hadn't been with anyone, which is like fine. Like,
I understand you're sexually frustrated,
but this is this escalation. Yeah, this is an overreaction.
It's one thing to be sexually frustrated. It's one thing to be sexually frustrated and kill. So
yeah, it's a big overreaction. So suddenly, out of nowhere, he just hits Stephen with a barbell. And then he strangles him with this barbell. And I was just like, okay, again, how did we get here? Like, not condoning this, but if he had said he raped him, that would have been a reaction to whatever he was experiencing. Do you know what I mean?
The sexual frustration to rape, and then he didn't want him to report him, so he killed him.
Yeah, but it's just like, from nowhere, you escalated to killing him.
To murder.
And so then he said that he was scared, he didn't know what to do. And he was like pacing up and down, and then like he masturbates, which okay. And this is where you start no longer
sexually frustrated. You got that
out. This is where we start to see like how everything is leading up to what he becomes. Because if I just murdered someone, the last thing I'd think about is masturbating.
So this is what I'm saying. So there's like the sexually frustratedness, yeah.
And then
but it's less so that you're not horny, okay, you're horny, but not so much horny for sex with somebody. Yeah. You're horny for the killing of somebody.
Yeah. Different things turn different people on. So
but there's things and there are things.
Yeah. No, this is a thing.
This is a thing.
Yeah, it's crazy. This is crazy.
I just.
Yeah. So he takes the body to the crawl space, and the next day he buys a knife. And at this point on the tape, he says he's all hesitant to talk about it, like he feels ashamed. And I'm like, it's like, now you have shame.
Exactly. And it's like, when you were telling us you masturbated over the dead body, that one you didn't have to tell us, because nobody would have known. You didn't have to tell us that. We would have not known that happened. That one you were okay to tell us.
Yeah, but it's now...
But now you found shame.
But again... I don't know if you guys would have, my avid listeners would have, like crime whatevers, would have heard of this guy called Israel Keys.
Oh, he is fucked.
Yeah. He also did the same thing where he was ashamed to talk about like aspects of his crime. Somebody needs to explore why serial killers have this. It's like, so this is the hill you want to die on. You don't have shame with committing the crimes. You don't have shame.
But it's different. It's like with anything that you do by yourself at home. It's like people will do things in the bedroom, but then they don't want to come out and talk about what they've done in the bedroom. They're happy to do it, but to come and be like, oh yeah, cool, this is what I'm on. They don't want to do that. Not that that's the same thing, but I think it's like just the privacy of what you did, and now having to like tell everyone.
Narrate. Maybe even there's something insane that makes you realize.
I do think sometimes it's even a case of like, this is like it's mine, it's my secret, it's my information.
Yeah,
sometimes you want to protect, like, not everyone deserves access to to your news. And I feel like sometimes for them, like, these kills are so precious. It's almost like, oh, this is mine. Like, it's mine. I don't want to share this with you. Yeah. As opposed to, I feel really, really bad and I'm embarrassed. How are you embarrassed when you fucking cut people's arms and legs off?
Bruh. So he goes on to explain.
I'll just give you the general description. Go back the next night, split the belly open, cut each piece, bagged each piece. It was trial and error. I really didn't know that much about the anatomy at the time. I didn't know how to dispose of the remains, but once I started doing it, it became sexually exciting to me.
So this is crazy to me because this is your first murder, and you just went right on in there. You really there was like the escalation was really just that night, and then after that it was just on 100. You went 0 to 100 and stayed there. What is happening?
Also, I wonder, where was everybody else in the house?
I wonder that too.
I keep wondering this because the house we see is quite a big house.
Yeah, it's not just his house.
Yeah, so I don't know if he lives. Where? And
all these people coming to do up dismemberment. I'm sorry, but does that not take some gusto, some effort, some strength?
Because we hear more about his dismemberments, and he's able to do this shit quite quickly.
Like they do whole surgical thingies to amputate legs and that.
Yeah, but that's because they're trying not to kill you. If you're already dead,
oh, yeah,
then
you just hack on.
Hack.
Yeah, just go
that is messy.
It just seems like so much effort.
I just
reckon
disgusting.
that at that point it's like, do you know what? Police come get me because I'm not dealing with all this.
Yeah.
It seems like too much. Too much.
Oh, what the Dexter is going on? Dexter's coming back actually.
Oh, I never really watched it.
Oh, okay, cool. So he's like defleshes this body and then like he puts the bones like in this bag and then breaks it all up, which is okay.
It's really intelligent. I'm not gonna.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. What a way to not get caught because he
didn't get caught for ages.
Yeah,
the thing is, he wouldn't have gotten caught,
but he got sloppy. I think he was tired.
He did get sloppy, but then also he didn't. It's not like they came to his house and were like, oh, blah blah blah. Like, I mean, they did, but I feel like had he decided not to say anything, they wouldn't have really been able. Well, I guess they could have because they found
the way they caught. Yeah,
but this particular murder, this Stephen Hicks one, they wouldn't have known if he didn't say anything.
Yeah, and he even when he gets caught, we'll talk about that. He could have gotten away with this for ages.
I think so,
but I think he was tired, and we'll talk about this. So basically, we know.
Did you say how old he was when he killed this first person?
Oh yes, I forgot to say he was 18.
Fam,
and this is what I mean by what was that? There was a point I was going to raise about his age as well.
Okay, while you think of that, I was just going to say, when they were taking him away, like in the beginning, they basically show him getting caught, and then we kind of go back to see what led to that. And so when they were taking him away, I was like, this guy looks kind of young. Like, what? He cannot be more than like 35 max kind of thing. And then they went back to show that the first time he killed, he was 18, and I was like, rah. He was killing for he probably killed longer than he killed for the majority of his life.
Yeah, for all of his adulthood.
Maybe all of his
And the thing is,
you couldn't even drink at 21. 21 isn't not that's their age to drink. 21. And he was really killing.
Yeah. And the thing is, I guess if you see an 18-year-old, you think you're on the same wavelength, and you don't know this person is batshit crazy.
Yeah. And he just doesn't look intimidating at all.
Actually, I think he's quite decent looking.
Yeah. Like, I feel like if I was walking down the street and it was dark and I saw him, I don't even think I would be threatened. I don't think I would even cross the road.
Yeah.
I might pause my music because then man can be mad sometimes, you know. But I don't think that I would be like, I could probably take him, you know.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. So we hear from a psychiatrist who's telling us a bit about what's going on with Stephen and his like behaviours, and he says that basically, I didn't know this was a thing, but Stephen was sexually aroused by the shininess of internal organs. And it's like, okay, nigga, like, flipping, you just really buy yourself, like, I don't know, like a glow stick or something. What do you mean by this? Like, what is the meaning?
Not a glow stick.
And he explained that shiny materials are more sexually arousing, which is why lingerie is usually shiny. Which is like fine. I don't think.
But the thing is that I was just like, this is coming from man. It doesn't even really make any sense.
Yeah, because it's such an escalation.
Exactly, and it's kind of like. It's kind of like, so the shiny lining of the organs, that shine is not the same as the shine of lingerie.
Exactly.
So I was like, and also he's not attracted to lingerie.
Yeah.
So what are you even like? I get you're trying to make 2 + 2 = 4, but it's like you're kind of forcing it.
Yeah.
Literally.
Stop trying to make fetch happen.
It's not going to happen.
So Dahmer says,
that night in Ohio, that one impulsive night, nothing's been normal since then.
No shit, Sherlock.
How can it be normal? It probably wasn't normal before.
Fam. So he tried to live a normal life and bury it, but essentially he couldn't. On-screen text tells us that the police go to Ohio to look for Stephen's body. So we're dipping in and out from the past to currently.
Yeah.
So they go back to look for Stephen's body and they find teeth and a necklace. So obviously they're able to link it to Dahmer at this point. So we now meet his dad, Lionel Dahmer, which I found admirable because I don't know if I would want people to know who I was.
I mean, with a name like Dahmer, like, we're going to assume that you're related to him. If I see the name Dahmer, I'm like, oh, Jeffrey?
Yeah.
Your son? That's your nigga?
And he, again, looks like a really normal guy.
Everyone looks normal till they're not.
Yeah. And he basically tells us that Jeffrey was born in Wisconsin and he had a happy, normal childhood. We see clips with his mum.
They love a childhood story.
They love a childhood story.
Stop trying to humanize him. Stop it.
I know, because there was a point where I even felt bad for him.
No, I never felt bad for him.
So he was just a regular schmegular guy. And basically, we learn that his parents get divorced, and Jeffrey really struggles with this.
I'm gonna get my tiny violin.
And so basically he says that he shuts down at this point. And it's like, okay, you're not the first kid of divorce.
You're not the first, you're not the last. I mean...
And we don't all go out like... Oh, not we, my parents are divorced. But they don't all go out like... slapping people and killing and eating. Like, shut the hell up.
Oh, get out of
So we speak to this guy. And I don't know if you guys have watched the Aaron Hernandez...
oh, yeah. The documentary.
Yeah.
The Netflix one.
Yeah. Do you remember that guy from his high school that kept inserting himself with his dad?
Oh, the gay one?
Yeah.
Who's like, we had a thing.
Yeah. Like, this guy reminded me of him.
Like, when he was like, I used to come and listen to my heartbeat. And
it was just like, first of all, he wasn't necessary to, like...
He wasn't necessary at all, but the thing is, they probably were like, oh, can anyone tell us any stories?
And he was like, me, please. Like, chocolate please.
Yeah, exactly.
No, he was in the and he was like, he had glee on his face.
You know
he was like, Charlie in the chocolate
really,
factory. Like,
he looked really happy.
I was like,
a bit too happy.
Fam,
people have died.
Fam, people have died for your opportunity, sir.
I was so
like if it was me, like, if someone came to me and was like, oh yeah, someone from Woodhouse is like a serial killer, I was like, hell to the fucking no. I don't want to align.
I don't know that man. Never seen that man.
Sorry to that man. I might sound crazy, but I do not. Like, come on.
I don't know who that man is.
Yeah, this guy too is the one to watch. He might be a serial killer himself.
No, I don't think so. I think he would have told us by now if he was. He was the intention.
So yeah, he was just saying that. Again, he just comes out and says that Jeffrey was a regular guy and he was just a bit mischievous, but nothing crazy.
Just a prankster.
Yeah, just a prankster, little minx.
Cheeky minx.
Cheeky minx. So on-screen text now tells us that 3 years after murdering Hicks, he moves to Milwaukee to live with his paternal grandmother. And when he gets there, he's actually doing well.
Yeah, he starts going to church.
He goes to church. Like, stop using Jesus to cover up your sins.
Fam, honestly.
And he's trying to, in fairness to him, he's trying to push out the thoughts. But they kept coming back.
So this is my question, right? Do you just think that some people are just destined to be killers?
I don't think it's destined to be killers. I think people have mental
proclivities.
Yeah. That if not caught quickly.
But even if caught quickly, I feel like, because you remember when we watched that documentary, I don't think we did it on the podcast, but the paedophile next door. And he basically is a paedophile by definition, because he's attracted to children. But he's not yet acted upon those urges, according to what he says. And so to acknowledge that you have those thoughts, those proclivities, those like wants, fantasies and stuff, regardless of what the bad thing is, like, is it just a matter of time before you do it? Is it that like, okay, cool, it's just going to happen? Like, it's just a matter of time, because what medicine can you take? What therapy can you have? Like, if that's what you want internally, do you get what I mean? Like, how do you not want the... It's like, it's not the same. I'm not trying to equate it to the same thing, but I'm a straight woman. I like men. So there's no therapy or medicine you can give me that's going to be like, okay, cool, now I like women. So it's like trying to do the reverse.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't know. Sometimes
I just think
I think if you're a serial killer, you have those tendencies, then you will have them. But I guess the acting, it's the thing we said about preparation meeting opportunity is success. So they are preparing. Yeah, they're preparing. But whether they have the opportunity, that's what then determines if they cross over. And then when you cross over and you know you can do it, and you do it, then you just carry on.
I think to be a murderer and to be a serial killer, like to kill someone accidentally, you punched them, they fell on the ground, pam, or someone slept with your girl, you shot him, he died. Okay, not okay, but that's different to like
it takes a level of I
kill people. Like that's just what I do. I've been doing it.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I just think
I don't know, like, because even we get into like his we'll get into it, but so he starts drinking because he can't shout out these thoughts.
Yeah, at 17 you've got a drinking problem.
No,
that's crazy.
He
had a drinking problem at 17.
Oh yes, he did. Yeah, he did. Sorry,
he was drinking before school, during school, and after school.
Yeah, that's true. So for all this 21 you can't drink in America.
It doesn't mean anything, man. That's why he went to his grandma's house.
Yeah.
And then he was doing well because he wasn't drinking. He was going to church. He was doing all that stuff. But he had the drinking problem before.
Yeah, that's true. I forgot about that. So yeah, he started drinking because even though he was doing well, like the thoughts kept coming back. So Dahmer starts frequenting nightclubs in the gay scene in Milwaukee, and he's trying to curb his impulsion. So there was like a strip of clubs that he would go to, and we see a video montage of these guys in the club just living their best life. It looks like fun.
See, this is the thing. When this part happened, I was like, oh, this is good, because obviously when he killed Stephen number one, he didn't have anyone that was like him. He didn't have, like, imagine, for example, I'm guessing the majority of people listening are straight. Imagine you're the only straight person wherever you are. You're the only one. There's no one that you can look at that you like and likes you back. Like, that must be difficult. I'm not condoning his killing ways.
Yeah,
but that must be difficult.
Yeah.
So when we hear this bit about him going to nightclubs,
like, maybe he can get it.
Okay, cool. Like, now all your sexual frustration, you can meet someone who is willing and able to give you what you need.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, cool. Like, we don't need to kill anyone else. But then.
So Dahmer says that he enjoyed these times because he didn't have to pretend to be something he wasn't. And I was like, oh,
it
like,
must be so
literally
like, draining. Even going to work, I have to pretend and smile and stuff as if I'm a nice person.
I pretend to be cork.
I just have to. You have to what?
Pretend to be Caucasian.
Oh no. Yeah, I can't. Do you know what I mean? It's like you cannot be your full self like you would in real life. Yeah. Just imagine that, but everywhere.
Yeah, exactly.
Just
day in, day out,
all the time.
That's why, like, I feel like also that's why I always say that black people find work 10 times more exhausting, and that's why I sometimes don't have the energy to socialize after, because I just feel like I've spent all this time pretending to be aligned with, like, your whiteness
and smiling
and cracking your jokes that mean nothing and asking if you want a cup of tea because I'm gonna make a like coffee or whatever, and like now I just want to come home and sleep because that plus the job is draining. I just want to be me JC style.
JC style. I just used to love, like, when I used to drive to work, the drive home, because in that hour,
you de-stress.
I am me and I'm singing and, like, I don't have to smile if I don't want to. And it's just fine. So I can't imagine just, like, every day, everywhere, you have to pretend, you know?
It's true. So Dahmer says that he was having a lot of one-night stands and he wanted more intimacy and spending nights, which, again, is cute. Like, I'm still kind of, so he started, like, drugging people's drinks. And, again, this is where it escalates. Because...
Do you know what it is? They mentioned this bit where they say he wanted to spend more time with them, but he didn't want to do anal.
Yeah, and I didn't understand that.
So I don't think that sex is the thing. Because you remember when he killed Stephen Hicks and you were like, oh, he's not like he even raped him or anything. I don't know that sex does it for him. I think it's the power over the people that does it for him.
I don't know what it... Because I was confused. When they said he didn't want to do anal, I don't know if he meant he didn't want to receive, like... anal or give. Because they didn't say he didn't want to have sex.
They just brushed past that bit.
Yeah, and that's what I was confused about.
I think they were just trying to highlight that he just wanted companionship and come. Because even when he talks about it, he's like, I just wanted someone to cuddle with and, like, just be with. So I don't know. I don't think that the sex was the driving force of his crimes.
Yeah. So, yeah, he starts taking guys home because there's this particular bathhouse. It's called a Roman bathhouse where basically it's like after the club, you hit this bathhouse and anything goes.
But you know what I loved? They were like, anything goes. The only rule is if someone says no, leave it alone.
Yeah.
And I was like, come on, consent.
But this is like basically like an orgy. Like,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and that's cool. As long as you're all...
But then the fact that the rules were like, if someone says no, they say no.
That's
it's
fine.
Like, yeah, everyone can do what they want, but, like, there are boundaries in place.
And that's good. Y'all get your fun, you know... You got one life, live it. Just listen to what people say. But Dom wasn't trying to play nice. So he would take these guys home or, like, to, like, different places, and he would drug their drinks with, like, sleeping pills. And he would keep them there with him, and it gave him, like, control over them. Like, they were just his, like, mannequins almost, and that was a sexual thrill for him. But they don't go into detail with what he did with these guys when they were, like, incapacitated.
I remember there's one bit where he basically talks about, like, he just wants to, like, cuddle them and lie up with them, and it just reminded me of, you know, our escorts episode, the boyfriend experience.
Oh yeah,
it's like he literally wanted the boyfriend experience. Like, he just wanted him to stay there all day. Like, when you're at your man's house and you're just like, I just
want to be in your skin.
I just don't even want to go home. Like, where you going? I'm coming. What are you doing? I'm going. Literally, I think that's what he wanted.
Literally. So he says that
I trained myself to view people as objects of potential pleasure instead of seeing them as complete human beings.
Which is very scary. It's extremely scary.
And why did you train yourself to do that? Why?
Because people usually train themselves out of this.
This is the preparation before the opportunity that he's doing.
Yeah. So this escalates because one day,
of course it does,
he steals a mannequin from a department store and he starts sleeping with this thing and, like, pretending it was a real person. And you see, this is what I was saying on the Men and Dolls episode, but when I said it, you people said to me, oh, pleasure. Like, this shit is weird. And people always, when you bring up this stuff with Men and Dolls and you bring up, like, they bring up, like, female sex toys, Like, with a female sex toy, a lot of times, yeah, it's the male, like, appendage or genitalia or whatever. But we don't humanize our, like, sex toys. We don't start thinking, oh, this is... And we don't talk to it.
No, I get what you mean, yeah.
And I'm not saying every guy that sleeps with these dolls becomes a serial killer.
No, but you are comparing a sex doll to a shop mannequin. They are not the same thing. This is weird. It's a mannequin.
Yeah, but what
those mannequins that they put on the thing, do you know how hard they are? That is not a comfortable thing to cuddle up with.
No, I know it's not a comfortable
Whereas
thing.
sex dolls are made of silicone. You know, we learned the very special equipment that the very special
So
silicone.
are you... Because I know he's going to comment. You know he's going to comment on this when he listens.
No,
Please help us understand. No, but...
Look, I think that it's weird that not only did he want the mannequin to cuddle, but he went to the extremes
of stealing it,
hiding in the dressing room when the shop was closing, and then emerging in the night and stealing the mannequin. Jesus, so that means you carried the mannequin home.
And that thing is heavy.
A mannequin, though.
No, but I feel like it's the same concept. It's still an inanimate, non-breathing object.
Of course,
and that is what I find weird.
It is weird. It's weird. I mean, we agree there. I just think that it's just... It can't have been comfortable. Like, it's a mannequin. Think about the ones in Top Man. They don't even have faces half the time.
God, Jesus.
Anyway, that's what he wanted anyway, because he was training.
Jesus
Christ!
Jeez Louise. This is crazy. That is the theme of this episode.
Really mad.
So it's now November 1987, and Dahmer meets Stephen Tuomi, which I really like that name, Tuomi. But yeah.
All right.
And they went to a hotel and they drank. And they got naked and rubbed bodies. I don't know what rubbing bodies is. This is dry humping, but then you're naked. Like, just have sex. Like, we grown.
Maybe he didn't want to.
Yeah, okay.
Consent.
Yeah, sorry. So they rubbed bodies, and he decided to keep Stephen. Because he has this thing where he decides who he wants to keep and who he wants to... So he made
you guys
him...
can't see my face, guys. Sorry if it seems like I'm silent.
She's disgusted.
I'm disgusted, yeah.
So he made him this drink with pills. And what pill... Do you not taste these pills?
No, and also
drink this drink again and
how
taste
you
it. Just be sure.
No, I need you to be around for the whole episode. So it's also like what supply? What is the pharmacist not concerned that you're using?
Where is Dan Schneider?
Hey, this is Dan Schneider. I'm a pharmacist,
and there's this guy up in Wisconsin.
Oh, Dan Schneider, where are you?
Where are you? We need you. Where is what's her name? Anne Lembeke or Lemke?
Anne Lembeke.
Yeah, where is she? Like, where are the people that could have helped? So yeah, he drugged this guy again, and then he says that he must have drank some of the drink. Would you not know not to drink your drink? And actually, sidebar, do you know that you can just buy Spanish fly? Like, did you know that
Spanish fly?
It's that thing that guys like spike girls' drinks with to make them like.
Was it a pill?
Yeah, I don't know. It might be a powder or pill, but it's the stuff that they always tell you to be careful of when you go to bars because guys like slip it into your drink and it. You can buy it. It is on Amazon.
Why are you looking on Amazon?
I wasn't looking for that. I was looking for something else, and then it came up. Who am I? Who I'm finna drug?
You heard it here first, guys. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's
he said he must have drank some because he woke up and Stephen was just dead.
Got drunk.
Yeah, I think he got drunk. And apparently he had beaten him to death. But again,
where's the strength coming from?
That is what I'm saying. He has the strength of like 50,000
men.
He has the strength of the Black Panther.
The Black Panther.
And yeah, he said he couldn't remember this. And he was just like, oh my gosh, I can't believe it happened again. Like, oh my God. Okay, cool.
Just get out of my face, man.
Fam, just fuck off.
Honestly. God.
Fuck off, you toss pot.
Good night.
Oh God. So he goes to the hotel lobby and he buys a large suitcase. And it's just like, why do the stars keep aligning for this guy?
I don't think the stars aligned in this case. I think he was prepared for the opportunity. Honestly. And once the stars aligning, the stars would be aligned if everybody.
I feel like if this happened to me, someone would walk in as I was putting his body on. Someone would have asked me, why are you buying this extra large suitcase? Or there just wouldn't have been suitcases that day at the lobby. But it seems that there's always like opportunity for this guy.
Yeah, white privilege, isn't it?
So he buys the suitcase and he puts Stephen's body in it. And he even says that like the driver, like he calls a taxi and the taxi driver helps him put the guy must be like, oh, you got a really heavy bag here. Like,
is there a dead body in there?
Oh, listen.
Meanwhile.
So he takes this bag back to this poor grandma. this, even though I don't know why I just feel like she's a bit racist. I don't know why I have that feeling that she might be racist. But this poor grandma, okay, is just living her life, baking her cookies.
Is she even baking cookies? She really seemed quite immobile.
Yeah.
No, but I guess she was going to church and stuff by herself, so she probably was all right.
She's probably like baking her cookies, sweet potato pie, and this guy is doing all sorts in her. Oof. So he puts the suitcase in the cellar. And he mentions that obviously because of the weather, it's November, so it's really cold, so it keeps. And then when his grandma goes to church, he defleshes the body, keeps the meat, wraps the skeleton in bed sheets, smashes the bones with a sledgehammer, and then throws it in the trash on Monday.
I said this grandma must have gone to a Redeemed Church of Christ because
that's what I was saying. Because how long
was the service? Because if she's Catholic, that was the cool hour door to door, like literally from her house to the church to back. Literally,
if I'm going to church, this is an hour round trip, including the service.
If I'm going to church, they're good. When they're good, it's an hour and a half. But then obviously you see the aunties, you want to chat, you want to get your meat pie
that you always leave church early for.
You want to get your meat pie, and then obviously you have to go to the car park, and then by the time you drive out, the day is gone. So yes, you could very much dismember. But if grandma's doing up Catholic churches, then I just don't see how he had the time.
And it takes long to deflesh a body. I don't know this for sure.
I mean, you sound quite positive.
No, but I'm just imagining because you got to do the legs, then the body, and then there's a lot of flesh in this area.
Where do you even start? What do you start? You start from the forehead and then work your way down?
I don't know. I feel sick.
I don't know. It just seems like a whole lot of work.
I'm
too lazy to commit murder.
Yeah, that's
also like
primarily
my character.
Yeah,
but also on top of that, I'm too lazy.
So after he had unlocked that craving, he just decided that he wasn't going to stop. He couldn't stop. He said that maybe he was just the devil.
Can't stop, won't stop, get guap.
Hey.
Sorry, sweetie, I tried.
So it's now 17th of Jan 1988, and he kills his next victim, James Dockstarter. Then there's a Richard in March. I can't pronounce
Richard Guerrero.
Yeah,
because it's like Eddie Guerrero. The rest of that's why I know.
Okay.
Latino.
Hey, arriba. So on-screen text tells us by mid 1988 he has murdered four men.
Yeah, 4 men.
So we meet Ronald Flowers, and this is really crazy because he's a survivor. And also, can I just sprinkle some stuff in as well, because I didn't mention it. At this point, he's had some run-ins with the police for like lewd sexual behavior.
Exposure.
So let's just put that by the side. And
he has a criminal record.
Yeah, it's not like he's going around and nobody knows. So this story is really crazy. So he meets Jeff on a night out because his car breaks down. They're both coming from the Club
219.
Yeah, and Richard
sounds lit.
Yeah, I know. I told you those gay bars looked like I would have had a good old time.
Yeah, but I feel like it's important not to invade people's spaces. You know what I mean?
Do you think?
Yeah.
Because I always see these things of like I've been to a gay bar before, like in America, and I had a lot of fun and. The gay guys love it.
I don't think that they're not welcoming, but I do sometimes feel that like sometimes as a straight person you kind of want to go to kind of see what it's about, and it's like that's not really your space. It's not for you to go and like ogle and be like, ooh. It's like us doing up Afrobeats raves, and then like white people come like, oh my god, this looks really fun. Like I just want to see.
But I feel like but for me, whenever I've been to like gay clubs and stuff like that, it's always of the vibe of I can actually just have a lot of fun here
without worrying about men moving.
Yeah. Every time I've been, like I've had
that's why I really want to go, and I feel like the vibes will just be good.
And I feel like it's a bit different from I don't know, maybe I'm just being whatever, but I feel like it's a bit different when you're a woman, you go to a gay bar rather than like guys trying to go to like a lesbian bar. Do you know what I mean?
I get what you mean. Yeah.
It's
just if anyone's out there from the LGBTQ community, let
can
us
you
know.
Just comment and let us know. I mean, I've already been, and it was always fun. I'm not saying that it's not good that you've gone, but as in I sometimes like you feel like this is their space.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
I don't. Not to say segregation, but obviously like. If it's not for me, then like it's not for me.
Yeah.
Sometimes I deep it and it's like the only privilege that I reckon that I've got is being a straight person.
Yeah.
Because then at least that's one less thing you're being discriminated against. So it's like if it's not for me, then guys let me know in it and I will invade your space. But if you're down, then me too, I'm down. So let's get down.
So Ronald is coming up with the club. So Jeffrey, and they kind of have mutuals. So he's seen him, but they'd never had any interactions.
Yeah.
So his car breaks down, and Jeffrey's like to him, "Oh, come home with me, and I'll get you some help and sort out your car and stuff."
Yeah, he's like, "Let's go to my house. I'll get my car. We can come back to your car, and then I can help you out."
Yeah, cool. So he's like, "Okay." He follows Jeffrey home, and then Jeffrey takes him through some like back way into his house, and then Jeffrey offers him a drink, and Ronald is annoyed at this point because he's like, "I came to fix my car."
What are you doing, fam?
Literally, because it's kind of like that thing where you think your guy's your friend and he tries moving.
Yeah, exactly. It's that car. We didn't have to get. Are you helping me with my car?
Yeah, or not. Like I'll cut if you're not.
Exactly.
Literally. So he's like, okay, cool. I'm gonna make myself a coffee, and then he'll make you like. And then he was like, do you want one? He was like, fine, cool. So he gives him a coffee, which he drinks. Then he's like, okay, let's go. I'm going to call like the help and stuff like that. And Jeffrey's like, hold on a second. And then as he's saying it, like he's just looking at him as he says it.
Yeah.
In a really weird way, like he's waiting for something to happen. And Ronald like has a really unsettling feeling, and then he just collapses. Next thing, he wakes up in hospital and he's bruised, and like he has ligature marks on his neck. And then he says that what really upset him and where he realized like what had happened.
Something's happened. Yeah.
His boxers were inside out. And then there was like a white hair,
like
blonde hair in his pubicle area, and that's when he realized like he'd been sexually assaulted.
Yeah.
So he reports this to the police, and they call Dahmer for questioning. And Dahmer says that they were in a relationship, and they had been having trouble. Ronald got drunk, and then he helped him on the bus home, and that was it. And the police are basically like, yeah, okay, fine. Like, we're not pursuing this anymore. They even said to Ronald, oh, this guy has like a criminal record, but we're not pursuing it anymore.
I feel was just like this is rooted in
racial,
2 things: racism and I think more prominently homophobia. And that comes up again later on. I think I just think that like they don't care. They're uncomfortable with this as a discussion point, and then it's kind of like, okay, well, he says you're in a relationship, but maybe love is tiff. It's not my business.
Yeah, it's none of my business.
It's crazy, and I feel like this happens more often. So, was it yesterday? Or no, it was yesterday. I had this patient, this like man, and he was probably like in his 50s or something, and he sometimes like patients just chat to you about their life and stuff, and he was telling me how he was HIV positive, but he was like apologizing because we were talking about his medications, and he was like, oh, I'm so sorry I have to tell you that I'm HIV positive. And I was like, oh, why are you apologizing? Yeah, why are you sorry? Like, and he was like, oh, it's really sad because what happened was he ages ago, he went to a party with a friend, and his friend was like the only guy he knew there. He knew like a couple of other people, but not really. His friend was like the friend, and so he went to the party, and then he like must have passed out or something. They put something in his drink, and then when he woke up, he realized he'd been raped. And then when he went to the hospital and had a test, that's how he contracted HIV. And it's like, I feel like people don't look at the sexual assault or abuse that men can receive in the same way, because there is this underlying homophobia, or like, maybe he wanted it, doesn't really. Do you get what I mean? Like,
everyone in the community is promiscuous anyway.
Yeah, exactly. So. And it's like when he told me that story, I thought of Ron, and I was just like, it's just crazy because you've been violated, which is the whole point. And when you're assaulted, you're violated.
Oh my God.
I was just like,
was he gay or?
Yeah, he was. He is, but. I mean, he was still...
No, it doesn't take away. I was just wondering.
Yeah. So I literally, I was just like, people in this world can be so shit, honestly. And so like, the fact that Ron even managed to... I don't even know, not even escape, because...
We don't know how he gets
there's so many holes, and it's like, he collapses. And the thing is that Ron was maybe... We don't hear from anyone else, because obviously everyone else is a victim and not a survivor. So it's kind of like we can only hear this story from him. We see he was suspicious. We see he was kind of like, this is a bit dodgy. But if not for these drugs, this guy couldn't have done shit. Yeah. Well, he would have maybe had just 2 victims, because it's the first 2 that he killed without the drugs. Then he started using the drugs, right? So yeah, I don't know, man. The police are trash. Is the bottom line.
It's a miracle. We really don't know how Ron got there. Yeah. We never find out, but it was a miracle, because
honestly,
I don't know what stopped him from killing him.
Yeah.
It's crazy. So at this point, Jeffrey is forced to move out of his grandma's. Like she just says that he keeps bringing, like, what we hear is that she told the dad he has this like mannequin downstairs that she finds creepy, and he keeps bringing men to the house, and she just doesn't like it, which is fair enough. I don't know if that's rooted in homophobia, but
it probably is.
Yeah, it probably is. But either way, like, you wouldn't want your grandchild bringing
girls around,
strangers or whatever to your house. Like, I understand her. Like, she's an old woman.
And also, he's a killer, and he's got dead bodies in your house. So
and he's got a fucking mannequin. Like, that shit is weird. Okay.
But at that point, I'd have been like, you need to go.
You ain't gotta go home, but you're gonna get the hell out of here. You and your mannequin
with you, boy.
So yeah, he basically is kicked out, and he starts taking pictures of these guys. Like, these are guys that he would drug and bring back to his house, and then he would like put them in really weird positions, like literally positions, and then take pictures of them.
Disgusting.
So he assaults an underage guy, and the guy manages to escape, and then he gets 5 years probation.
This is the one in the park, right?
Yeah.
He basically asked him to take pictures of him, like sexual pictures of him or whatever. So he goes to no, he doesn't go to jail, does he?
No, he gets 5 years probation and like some, like, I think community service or something along those lines. I didn't understand the technical word they used, but he was on probation for 5 years. That one I know.
Is this separate to the one where he got 10 months. I think we're talking about the same thing, you know?
Yeah, I think we're talking about
No, so what happened was that guy, the underage guy, he like sort of solicits him in the park and tries to take pictures of him. He gets 10 months in prison and then 5 whatever probation.
That must have been the 10 thing I didn't understand.
He got 10 months in prison.
And
so he was in prison.
Okay.
And then he got
5 years
whatever probation, yeah.
And again, I think he must target like vulnerable when it comes, because his victims have like different age ranges. Like I think it's from like mid 20s to like quite young teens. Yeah. And the young teens, I get the impression that all the young teens are vulnerable people, because what access is he having to a little boy in a park if that person isn't vulnerable? Because
I guess, but then also kids are just kids, innit?
I guess.
When he gets charged for that crime.
Yeah.
And while he's awaiting his sentence,
he murders and
he kills another guy. Yeah.
In 1989. And
so that's 5 people now that
literally,
one survivor, 2 survivors, 5 victims.
Yeah. And so before he's released, Lionel Dahmer basically like writes a letter to the judge saying that he really thinks Jeffrey needs like psychological help. Yeah. And like if he's released, he'll be like a danger to society. And basically nothing happens. Like Jeffrey's released and he's free, kind of thing. And this is like, you just see like so many, this story could have been so different if not for the failure of...
There's so many points at which, because even after Ron Flowers, if he was caught then or stopped then maybe he wouldn't have had the chance to kill that's the majority of his kills occurred after that.
So on screen text tells us it's 14th of May 1990 and Jeffrey Dahmer moves into an apartment complex in Milwaukee. And at this point, like you said, he's killed 5 guys.
Yeah.
So we go to where the apartment complex used to be and we just see like it's knocked down now.
Yeah, and they tell us this is like a poor black neighborhood.
Yeah. So literally, it's a predominantly black neighborhood with high crime and drug rate, and Jeffrey is the only single white guy living there. So he's basically hiding in plain sight because if the police are coming there, they're coming for like shootings or drugs or this or that. And they're not looking at the preppy white guy that just lives there and goes to work.
And this is why I also feel like it's very calculated. And there's so many cases you see where people target either sex workers or black women or transgendered women because they know that like the society doesn't really care about them. So no one's really going to be looking for them. Because before he was killing all these white guys, and now he moves to this neighborhood.
That's not good. I talk about that, yeah. So
it just makes me hate him even more.
Literally, at this point, things escalate. So you think they could not escalate anymore. But
what's it? Exponentially.
Bam. It goes crazy because he stops and he says to himself, I'm killing all these men and it's kind of a waste. And not at that point do you think, oh, let me stop. He's like, no. I want to have them inside of me.
Because then we'll be one.
So I'm going to eat them. So what he starts doing is he will cook and eat body parts so that they can remain with him forever. So
that you shit them out. Okay. Useless
the
dog.
first person he cannibalizes is Rick Becks. And Jeffrey says on the tape,
there's no way of saying it without sounding gruesome. I don't know how to describe it. You've had filet mignon, haven't you? Yeah. Very tender. It did give me some satisfaction. Made it feel like they were more of a part of me.
Made it feel like they were part of me.
I just don't even have the words. I don't have the words.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm flabber.
And the thing is that him talking, he's just talking like a normal person, like you and I talk.
And the things I look at him and I was like, what does your mouth taste like? You know that you get tastes in your mouth like after you've eaten stuff. Like, I just want
But the thing is that at the end of the day, we're meat, right?
Okay, yeah.
So it probably just tastes like chicken.
Everything tastes
like chicken.
Sometimes, you know, like when you get a bit of flesh there, like on your finger.
That's not the same.
I know, but I always wonder I'm a bit of a cannibal because I always eat, like, bite it off.
Good night.
Do you not swallow it?
What?
Like, if you get, like, a bit of flesh on your skin.
No, I cut it, like a hangnail.
Is that what it's called?
I think so.
Like, I'll just eat it.
I mean, yeah, but you're not really eating it, are you? Like, you're not eating it.
Yeah,
I
know.
Like, you're not really eating it.
I know.
You're actually probably stuck in your tooth. Like, honestly, this is like muscle.
I know, but yeah. Oh, God. Jesus. This is really like, it was really disgusting. I don't know how you do that. It's just
the calm nature with which he was speaking. Like, he was just talking like it was just normal.
I don't know, but then I don't know how you live in that apartment. You open your fridge, you see a head, you see a limb, you see this, you cut a bit, you cook it, you eat it. I know in the animal kingdom some people eat, but actually no, what animals eat themselves? Fish do.
Do they?
Savages, yeah. I had 2 fish.
They eat themselves?
One ate the other.
Wait, what are you talking about? Goldfish?
No, one was goldfish, one was another thing. Pinky was the goldfish.
I want to get a pet. What pet should I get?
Goldfish probably for you.
No, but what's the point of that, man?
There's no other pet that I think you could manage.
Wow.
So there's a montage of all the eaten victims whilst he's saying all this, and I start to notice that obviously they're all black, and I think this was by virtue of the area and also race, because he hadn't been eating any of his white victims, and then suddenly he starts eating like the black ones. So I do not know what the fuck. But I feel like this is the Chris Brown video.
More athletic and more bloody.
Seasoned. This is like that Chris Brown video. Like, can somebody please tell me what the fuck is going on?
No.
I keep seeing all these headlines. So it's now November 1990, and he's murdered 9 men at this point, and we see a video of him at home for Thanksgiving. This is really disturbing.
Yeah, this is really creepy.
His dad is recording, and he's just sat on the seat and opposite his dad, and his dad is recording him. And Dad's like, oh, what have you been up to? And he's like, yeah, just working, been really busy working. And then he's like, oh, his grandma says,
You look good though, you look nice and trim.
Oh, that's good to hear.
You look like you're working out.
No, I've been surviving on McDonald's food.
First of all, how very dare you bring McDonald's into this? How very
to be honest,
dare
McDonald's
you.
is not that far off the food line with whatever the fuck he's doing. McDonald's is...
What, with human meat? McDonald's is fake meat, not human meat. Can we get that right?
Rat meat.
Can we get that right?
It's probably rat and pigeon mixed in there.
No, that's Sam's. Thank you very much.
Sam's the other day.
Yeah, Sam's pigeon. Do you remember them rumours when they used to do TVC?
Yeah, I know.
I was like, if it's pigeon, then...
No, but I don't know if what we get in the supermarket is overpriced, or if these shops are really not giving us real chicken.
Sometimes, yeah. When I go to them little shops, I'm just like, this doesn't smell right. This wing is not... That's why now I can't just get wings from anywhere anymore.
This wing is not wanging.
This is not wanging, yeah, literally. But either way, it was very grim. It was very shuddery to hear him talking about
in McDonald's, and
when you've been eating men that you've murdered. It's not like you have a plug who just gives you body parts.
Yeah, you
have been involved in every process of obtaining this meat.
And literally, you saw them alive. You had sex with them, or whatever you did with them, and then but you really you must lose weight eating human flesh, I guess.
Maybe that's all he's eating. He probably he's rationing it out as well. Probably.
Yeah, it's probably like doing keto.
Not really. It's just
no.
Eating protein.
That's what I mean in the sense of the weight loss.
But he might not just be eating. Maybe he wants his filet with rice or.
Oh, okay, fair enough. So again,
if anyone should have been a vegan, bruv, should have been him.
Again, you think he can't escalate anymore, but he does, because suddenly he wakes up and he's like, it wasn't enough to eat them. He wanted this to create this thing where it would have no free will. It would just be at his whim. He wants a zombie. So he starts when he kidnaps these guys, essentially, he starts drilling a hole in their skulls and then injecting them with acid. He wants a compliant, conscious sexual partner.
What are you even talking about?
I don't know. And
this is what I mean from the beginning when I was saying, okay, this person who has the potential to do all of this, he was going to do something.
I guess so.
It was just a matter of time.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm just like, maybe when you get the ick, or when you get the kind of okay, cool, this person's a bit, maybe we should just kill them, or maybe we should just put them in an island somewhere so that they cannot do this, because I'm sure they knew this guy was fucked. He's weird, yeah. We would have saved 17 lives.
If he had
and
been
removed
on
the trauma from at least 2 people and countless families.
Yeah.
If we had just thrown him in the ocean or something. Honestly, this is wild.
Gosh, I know, it's
crazy.
crazy.
When you look at the steps of escalation, yeah, just when you think it cannot get any worse, you're
He's
eating
no.
people, and then you're like, you know what? I'm full. What I'm going to do now is
zombify them. Apocalypse.
And
so
guys.
He said that he would drill the hole, inject them with acid, but they kept dying.
Of course, they kept dying. Then he started diluting the acids.
He started, and then again. So one victim actually escapes. He's 14 years old.
This bit.
And then we learned that he was the younger brother of another boy who was sexually abused by Dahmer.
So do you remember when we were talking about the one from the park, and he got 10 months for that? That is the brother of this guy that we're about to talk about.
I don't understand how he
because someone was saying that they think that maybe because I was reading articles about it afterwards, that maybe because they pressed charges, he was kind of stalking the family.
Oh.
They think that, I don't know, I don't think any explanation needs to happen because I think he's just mad, and it could have been a coincidence, but
that he saw the little boy.
Yeah, but yeah, the guys, just trigger warning times 2. This story is wild.
Okay, so this boy's name is Conrad, the 14-year-old, and we hear the story from the woman who encountered Conrad. So she says...
her name is Nicole.
Okay,
and she's 17 at the time.
Yeah. So she says that she's in a car with her friends on her way somewhere, and then she sees this naked boy who's staggering and falling. And she's like, what the hell is going on? So she's like, she jumps out of the car, she's like, so friends, can you see this shit? And then she runs to him, and then she calls the ambulance, and we hear...
the police.
Yeah, and the police. And we hear the ambulance call. Like, she's explaining everything as she's seen it, which is all well and good. Then suddenly, like, Dahmer appears, and he starts, like, trying to take the boy away.
Yeah.
And the boy's, like, fighting him off. And the woman is, like, trying to understand what the hell is going on.
Yeah.
And she can see... Because the boy is obviously kind of, like, out of it.
And he's naked.
Exactly. So she's trying to hear from, like, understand what's going on, but she can see that the boy's reaction is like...
he doesn't want to be around this person.
So she's trying to fight Dahmer off.
Yeah.
And then the fire department come first, and they cover the boy, and then she starts flagging the police car that's on its way. And then Dahmer says, like, the boy's his friend and was drunk and ran off.
No, so his boyfriend.
Sorry, I'll just say boyfriend, because I think she said friend, but then they said...
Dahmer says that's his boyfriend.
Okay.
The same thing that he said about Ron.
Yeah. So then she literally, where she is right outside her auntie's house. So she's going from inside her auntie's house to back outside. And then she said she goes in for a second, and then by the time she's come, the police have gone. The fire ambulance is gone, the boy is gone, and Dahmer's gone.
There's a bit that you missed. So basically, she flags down the police car, and so he's telling them, "Oh, that's my boyfriend." And so the woman is trying to say, "No, they're not together." And they're saying to the woman, "Okay, wait a minute, we'll get back to you."
Yeah.
And she's Jeffrey Dahmer basically saying, "No, this woman is crazy. She's being rude."
Yeah, she's
obviously
like crazy
black woman. Crazy black woman, and she's hysterical because you're about to take this boy that's not yours. And what are you doing? He's a child. And so they're like, no, listen, we're going to get back to you. Just wait. We're talking to him right now. And basically dismissing her. So then she runs into her auntie's house and then runs back out. And then that's when no one's there.
So she basically says to auntie, like, we need to find out what happened to this boy.
Yeah,
like,
that's a little boy. That's not a man. How can he be his boyfriend?
So then they call the police back and we hear the tape.
It's a intoxicated boyfriend of another boyfriend.
How old was this child?
It wasn't a child. It was an adult.
Are you sure?
Yep.
And then the auntie's like, yeah, like, so me and my niece is here with my daughter. They were witnesses to this. We called you just a minute ago. And he was like, yeah, I was the responder. And she's like, okay, so do you want any statements or anything? He was like, no. Like, we don't need it because it was a boyfriend of another boyfriend. And it wasn't a child, it was an adult. And she was like, so you're telling me that it was an adult? And she was like, yeah, it wasn't a child. And she was like, okay, do you want our statements? He was like, no. Like, he's gone back. Like, we went to the house, we saw pictures, we saw this, we saw that. And I'm fucking thinking, they probably didn't even see pictures. He's probably lying to them. Like, I don't think they saw pictures. I think Dahmer explained this. They saw a white guy who looked decent. They saw an Asian, like,
they probably thought he was like a sex worker or something like that.
And they were just like, okay, fine.
Again,
homophobia. I doubt
racism.
That they even fucking, like...
Didn't investigate anything.
Even
they couldn't have investigated anything because the time with which it took Nicole to go to her aunt's house and come back out, she was like, it really wasn't that long. In that time, everyone had gone.
Literally.
What?
So what did you investigate? And before you hand over, you should have gone and investigated. They didn't investigate shit. And also, even this might be me reaching, but the language used shows homophobia. He was like, it's the boyfriend of another boyfriend. Who says that? It was like, you could be like, it's a couple or they're in a relationship or something. Yeah. That use is very othering.
His whole tone was very dismissive.
Yeah.
It was like, look, these gay people,
they be doing crazy shit.
None of my business. Exactly the same sentiment as when Ron Flowers. It's almost like, look, I'm uncomfortable with this. This ain't really me. Do you know?
Yeah, you lot still.
Maybe this is what gay guys do. Let them do their thing.
Yeah.
It's literally rude, and this is why, like, when you have biases and you work with the public, you have to learn to shut that shit off, or just not feel.
Or just not be in the bias.
No, but I feel like there is a thing. You are biased.
Yeah.
Depending on what you're around. I feel like you are biased, but there's also a difference between bias and like extreme homophobia.
Yeah, that's what I mean. If you're that like racist or homophobic, you shouldn't be. Yeah.
Work in an office or do a startup.
But why would they not work in that kind of place? Because it caters to the we'll get into these guys. So at this point, we don't really hear what Dahmer has done with this guy. We just know that he went back, but we can imagine what's happened. So but Dom starts to say that the bodies are piling up, and he's like, okay, what's he gonna do? Like, he lives in this little apartment, bodies are piling up, he's not eating them quickly enough, whatever.
Yeah.
So he goes to this hardware store and he buys like a massive like drum.
Oh, there's like big buckets.
Yeah, that have the like whatever.
The lid, yeah.
And it's just like, again, like, so someone saw him buying this. Someone saw him carrying this shit up to his dinner. Nobody asked questions.
But the thing is, they sell those things. You can buy them.
Yeah, but this is the thing. I was listening to a podcast and someone was like, if somebody comes and they buy a certain collection of items
together,
you should flag.
Yeah.
Okay? You can't come to me
The
buying a
system
drum,
should automatically
a saw,
be like
duct tape,
acid,
and I'll just be like, okay, so let me ring that up.
That's $20.99, sir.
No, sir, I am calling the police. Like, what is you doing? Yeah. You need to confirm what you're doing with these items. So he takes this drum up, he fills it with acid, and he begins to dissolve the bodies, essentially. And basically, the neighbour is saying that there was a day, like, they were sleeping and they had this horrible smell come through, and he literally, it smelled so bad he thought his cat had like shat in their bedroom.
I don't know what cat shit smells like, boy. Definitely not getting a cat.
It doesn't smell that bad.
That's what I'm saying. How bad can cat shit smell that you thought that dead bodies were cat shit?
But it's probably not dead body smell. It's probably different because it's
flesh.
Yeah. Oh, God.
Yeah, but it's everything, innit?
So anyways, he goes to work the next day and then he realizes it's coming from Dahmer's house and his wife is really pissed off. So she waits for him to come back and for Dahmer to come back. Mm-hmm. And then she says, like, what is going on?
What the fuck?
Yeah, like, and then he's like, oh, my fridge like broke and then all the meat, freezer broke and all the meat's gone off and that's what you're smelling. And then the guy was just, but you're doing your face like that. But if you see this guy every day, he looks normal. I mean,
I get that. Do you know what? Whether he looks normal or not, your first thought is not going to be, oh, he's storing.
Yeah, you're just like, okay.
But then my face is like that because it's like, how much meat? No, how much meat
did you have?
How much?
And you are one single guy. Like, you should have had like one leg of lamb and bag of chicken.
Exactly.
Like,
and maybe something in the freezer. How much?
Yeah. So, yeah, at this point, this is what's going on. He has that drum thing in his bedroom. So
it's in his bedroom?
In his house, sorry.
Oh.
So, again, you have to be crazy to sleep in the same... Like,
it's weird because, like, what were you going to do with it then? The acid? What was your plans?
Yeah, because even if you could have taken that downstairs and everything was spilled out, like, what was your plan? But this is what I mean. It takes a level of... Can you imagine sleeping in... Because it's a confined space, it's an apartment.
Yeah, but you're thinking about it. Can you imagine yourself? Yeah. Of course he can imagine himself. He's happy. He probably feels better because they're all with him now.
So it's now July 1991, and at this point he's murdered 17 men.
Yeah, he kills Matt Turner, who's 20. He killed him in June 1991. Jeremiah Weinberger, 23, killed him in July 1991. Oliver Lacey, 24, killed him in July 1991. Joseph Bradhoff, 25, killed him in July 1991. So in July... So basically, from the end of June, he was really doing one a week.
Yeah, that's what it says. He's now escalated to once a week. Because it's become a compulsion. Like, so he has to do it. So Dahmer then invites this guy called Tracy Edwards to his house and he wants to take pictures of him. So he approaches him to take pictures and Tracy's like, okay, cool, for some money. And I mean, for me, anybody approaching me to take pictures, that shit's really weird. Like, but okay. So he gets him drunk again and starts taking pictures. And then basically he like handcuffs Tracy and he's like,
yeah, because you run out of pills at this point.
He's lying, putting his head on his chest and he's like, if I eat you, you'll be inside of me. And Tracy's like, yeah, this shit is fucked. So he manages to escape and then he's running and like he's running with like one handcuff like on his arm.
But Dahmer not only says that, he threatens him with a knife. Then he runs.
Yeah. So then the police see him and they're like, okay, what the fuck is going on? And I was really happy that they didn't just like arrest him thinking like he was an escaped convict. Yeah. Because I thought that was what was going to happen. And then he explains everything to him and they go back to Dahmer's house. And then when they bang on the door, Dahmer's like, who's this? And he's like, they're like the police. And then he tries to shut the door. They open it, get inside. They see the knife, the butcher's knife. And then they open the fridge and that's when like...
There's a head.
There's a head and like a bicep.
Like an actual head in there. Imagine just opening the fridge and seeing a head.
Yeah, this is crazy.
This is how he gets caught.
Yeah. So, basically, Nicole's back and she's like, they found out that like he obviously killed Conrack and I don't know why they did this. I know they wanted to do victim identification, I'm guessing, but they sent her a picture of his head.
My mind was going just all over the place. he was molesting them, photographing them, cut his genitalia. Do you know that? Did you know that? He cut his genitalia. I mean,
and she was like, he'd been dismembered, he'd cut, like, she was literally bawling, and she was just like blaming herself.
Yes, Nicole was really, she was really affected.
But I can't imagine though. You must be, because imagine being the last, and I'm not gonna say she could have saved him, because she did everything. She tried. She did everything she possibly could have, short of killing.
The fact that she even stopped and got out the car.
Because I was thinking about that situation. I was like, I wouldn't do that in this London.
I don't know.
I would just call the police.
Having watched this documentary, I really want to feel like I would actually just get out and be like, okay, is everything okay? Like, you see a naked boy on the street.
I wouldn't. I honestly cannot lie to you. In this London, I wouldn't. I would wait with my cars locked, call the police and tell them everything I know.
No, but this is what I'm saying. Like, would you remember? Because there's going to intervene, there's watching the situation and reporting it, and there's just being that's peak.
I'd watch and report.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's different.
No, but she really did get out, and she had interaction.
But that's what I'm saying. She did everything that she possibly could.
Yeah, she couldn't have done more.
So it's easy to say she should have no regrets, because she must be feeling it.
Yeah.
Because even when she's talking now, this is like years later.
She's really emotional.
She it's like it happened yesterday.
Yeah. She's like, she could have done more to save him and prevent that, and
the thing is that the main reason, in my opinion, why this she wasn't taken seriously is because she's a black woman.
Yeah.
A hysterical black woman who has every right to be hysterical at this point.
Yeah.
So she just happens to be a black woman.
Yeah.
And they just didn't take her seriously. Because I think, to my mind, if it was a white woman
that
was there, they would have been looking at her like, oh my goodness, damsel in distress, let me help, tell me what's going on, what's wrong. How can I be the one who called the police and you've completely dismissed me?
It's just crazy. There's so many things at play here. Homophobia,
and then
racism.
they added homophobia, because now you look at this white guy and this child, and you're just like, oh well, it's none of my business. And also, I
think there's an element of the Conrad was Asian as well. If it was a white boy, I think it would have been different as well. Yeah, so I think that's also
but then
why.
You may have also been able to pretend that like that's his son or that's his brother or something.
Yeah, I guess.
The fact that he was Asian is just like, there is
what is the redeeming factor? Yeah.
What? Someone that's stumbling and looks confused, and he looks like a child. He looks like a child.
If you see the picture of him, the last picture I guess that was of him, he looked 14,
even younger maybe.
Mm-hmm. So the documentary is drawing to a close, and we see Dahmer. The first stage is finding out if he's criminally insane.
Sorry, before we do that, they say a little bit about the police who let Conrad go back with Dahmer.
Oh shit, sorry, I was meant to say that.
So they get fired, and you think, oh, they got fired, but then they get rehired, and we find out that one is now a chief of police. Someone with no regard for human life, clearly, because he let this boy go to his death, is now a police chief. Mm-hmm. What?
And it's like, I think about a normal, this is what I mean this is why they flock to this profession. I think of a normal working environment. Like, if I had a gross, like, misconduct at work, I'm fired and that's it. Yeah. You don't get fired, then fucking rehired. They shouldn't have even been in contact with the police to even be rehired.
Yeah.
So they get fired.
You're fired, performative, and then let's sneak you back in.
Yeah.
And so, not only
let's promote you.
That's what I'm saying. Not only were you fired and rehired, you now have risen up the ranks. That is terrifying to think that the police chief made such a even the guy on the phone was like, yeah, that was me, and was talking as if like, oh, listen,
that's the one that's the police chief.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Someone with no regard for human life. Literally. It doesn't make any sense.
So Dom has to they have to first find out if he's criminally insane and if he can stand trial. And basically the argument for him not being criminally insane is that he knew what he was doing, mm-hmm. and he tried to conceal it, so he was fit for trial, which I agree with. I don't think you have to have a level of insanity to do this.
He's not insane.
But he's not insane.
He's not insane.
No.
He's very aware of what he's calculated.
He's very calculated. I think he's disturbed. Like, he must be. Yeah, but he's not insane. So, we see victim impact statements, and this part's really sad because like one woman just breaks down and she really wants to fight him.
She should.
And I cannot imagine, like, if that was me, it would take 50 million men to stop me from like jumping across the table and like killing him.
Yeah.
Like, you get to sit there and be alive after like what you did. Ridiculous. So he comes out and he also speaks. He addresses the court. He says, long story short, he feels bad.
Oh, shut the fuck up.
He wants to turn to God.
Everyone wants to turn to God. No, how dare? And this is what annoys me. Yeah? How dare you try and turn to God and then get to heaven? Are you okay? No, are you actually all right? God forbid. I don't care if you give your life to Jesus on your final breath. Yeah, you cannot make it. No. Access denied.
Sorry, sir, your card has been declined.
Access denied.
And he wants to die. And he basically said that like if he had died ages ago, it would have saved the world from all of this, and it fucking would have. So yeah.
I told you, throw him in the ocean.
So he was sentenced to 15 consecutive life sentences, which totaled to 957 years. He also got an extra life sentence in Ohio for the death of Stephen Hicks. But that isn't the end. So on-screen text tells us on November the 28th, 1994, he's beaten to death by a fellow inmate. It's actually him and another guy that were beaten to death, but either way, he's dead.
Do you know what I love about this bit? Because I went to go and research this hero.
Yeah, same.
His name is Christopher Scarver. He's black. And apparently he killed him and this other guy. I don't remember his name, but he killed this other guy. And apparently it was because he didn't like the fact that Dahmer was killing loads of black men, like towards the end of his
more power to you.
More power to you. And then the other guy, he actually stabbed his wife to death and then stabbed himself, and then said that 2 African American guys attacked them, and that's what happened to the wife. Yeah. And said that they were wearing this like hat or whatever, and it turns out that hat, he's one of the people who worked at one shop saw him buy the hat and was like, no, he bought that hat.
Yeah.
So how the hell
that's how they found it.
Yeah. And so this Christopher Scarver guy was like, oh, so you're trying to put the blame on black people. Pow Pow dead. Not Pow Pow. He kind of beat. No, he beat them to death with his hands on the same day. Christopher was a busy guy. He beat them to death both on the same day. The other guy died later, but Dahmer died on that day.
Apparently he didn't scream.
So he did scream.
Dahmer, he didn't make any noise. He just died.
Oh yeah, he should better die, man.
Yeah, but that was good. Like, more power to you. Let that man out.
Yeah, honestly.
What is his? Is it commissary or whatever? I'm gonna put some money on his tabs.
On his books.
Yeah, have a drink on me.
Honestly, some prison wine.
They make that in the toilet. It's really
they do.
Yeah. So his dad said he felt devastated, which I guess is natural. But I don't know. That's demon spawn. I don't know if I would feel any. I mean, you would. That's no son
of mine.
You would.
I don't know. God forbid, I hope I never found out.
Yeah, same. So he said he felt devastated, and in the montage we just see his victims' faces, and that is the end of. It's one less evil person off the planet. Really.
But he was on it for too long.
Way too long.
This guy's, there's not even really any happiness here except that he died.
Yeah.
But even then, he should have just died first, and this would have all been fine. But yeah, sorry we had to do this to you. Happy Halloween!
Happy Halloween, you ghosts and ghouls!
Yeah. What are we doing next, please? Let's move on from this.
We are doing a credit.
Oh yeah, we're going to do a credits episode. It's going to be fun. We're just going to chat.
Chat. We did say we'll talk a bit about The Office.
Yeah.
Because I feel like we have to. I feel like we make so many references now.
I feel like we have to do anything.
I feel like we have to make so many references now that you guys should just hear us talk about it.
Yeah, but then if they don't watch it, then they're just going to be like, what the
Yeah, but then they will watch it because we'll be like, watch this because it's funny.
When I said to you, watch Drag Race, did you watch it? No, so...
No, I did. I just didn't like it. There's a difference.
Well, what season did you watch?
I started from 1, which is...
Why did you start from... What did you watch? Season 1? And then you didn't like it?
Yes!
Why would you start from season 1? Season 1 is we don't talk about season 1.
But this is the thing. You didn't tell me you started this season. You told me watch Drag Race. And the natural order of things is to start from season because I was like, okay, let me understand at least the concept.
No, okay. Well, I'm gonna give you my best season.
Okay, give me the best season and then I'll try again.
Watch it. Yeah, cool.
For goodness sake.
That's fine.
Oh, guys.
I wonder because they had that filter on it as well. Lord.
Yeah, and even when I was watching on Netflix, it didn't fill out the whole screen.
Yeah, because it was the first one.
But
it's okay. We'll move on. I'll let you watch.
Guys,
I'll pick one for you.
Help me.
I'll pick one for
Blink twice if you need help. I'm blinking.
That will blink twice. Just done.
Guys, thank you so much. You can find us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at 2girls1doc. Where can they find you, BD?
I'm on Instagram and Twitter at BD on Eyewear. And you are?
I am on Instagram and Twitter. I am on Instagram and Twitter, 4 ends with 2 underscores.
Yeah, so there will be no trailer because it's a credits episode coming next.
But watch The Office in preparation. You don't have to.
All 10 seasons.
No, you don't have to, but... And you can start any season with that show because it's good from season 1.
No, but you should start from season 1. So you wouldn't start from any season. It's a storyline. You should start from season 1.
It's not really... I think
it is. I feel like there's context.
There is some, but I feel like
why would you? So you just recommend? Oh yeah, just start from season 5.
It's not season 1 is not the best season.
It's not about the best. It's about it making sense.
But I don't feel like it doesn't make sense
because you've watched it so many times.
I don't know.
So you watch season 5.
But either way, you're lucky because it's good from season 1, so it's fine. You'll still get hooked from season 1.
No, but I
don't feel like there's enough of a storyline for you.
No, obviously, you couldn't start. You start from season 1. right? It's a drama. It's a storyline.
That's what I'm saying. I don't feel like the storyline is definitive enough. I think you could start from like 2, because season 1's only 6 episodes, you know.
Exactly. So why would you not start there?
I mean, you could, but I'm just saying if you didn't, it would be fine. I honestly think it would.
If you're gonna start from season 1, unless you're watching Drag Race, then don't start from season 1. That's the lesson here.
Guys, I don't even know why you're still here if you're still listening to this.
You always say, stop saying that. You're gonna discourage.
Oh my god, get off!
Gosh,
my dick.
It's so negative.
You know
oh my
what?
gosh,
I am out. Bye.
I said bye.
I've been saying bye, bitch.
Bye.
Is this recording?
Is this thing on?
And there's this Pacific. Good.
I haven't listened to it.
Is Trey Songz I feel like I've never heard you talk about him.
I listened to him back in the day when he had cameras. Like, I used to love
when he was Somalian.
Yeah, when he was Somali, I used to love him. Like, even when he had the your side, my side, your side of the bed. Microphone check 1 2. What is this? The 5-foot assassin with the roughneck business. I felt like gravity. Never had a cavity. Okay,
wiki what?
Wiki who?